Hey, what's up? Peace and abundance always. Peter Abundant here, minister and PhD of metaphysical sciences, which is the study of spirituality, is what I like to say. So today I want to kind of recap the week and also give you some insight to move forward through the day, give you something to think about to help you to basically take ownership of your life. Recognize you are a creator of your reality. Therefore, you should be a conscious creator of your reality, thus creating the reality that you desire. So this week we kind of went over concepts of self-sabotage and how to really overcome self-sabotage and understanding what it is, understanding how it's important to recognize it as it shows up. Because essentially, if we're not living our actual true purpose, being our authentic self, then essentially you're not doing so because there are elements in your life, in your mind, that allows you to self-sabotage your own success and your own purpose. So over the course of the 5 days, Monday through Friday, we discussed various ways of how to address self-sabotage and overcome it. Today, though, I want to talk about something that I often encounter, especially on social media, but in life in general, because I think it's something that is extremely important. The teachings and the things that I really want you to take away from me and my point of view, my perspective, my thoughts and understandings of spirituality, religious, studies, things of that nature. Not to say that I'm some religious scholar, by no means, but religion has took me on this path of recognizing the oneness of all things and recognizing that I am responsible, am a creator of my own reality. And so with these teachings that I come across, these books that I read, I essentially share that insight with you in a way that hopefully you can consume it, you can understand it, you can comprehend it, you can take it with you bit by bit, in a way that eventually will lead to your own realization. So we often live in a world where we think that the things that are going on around us needs to be responded to. It needs to be recognized in a way that matches that energy. So in other words, many of us do, not just we, but when I say we, I'm generalizing, but it's not you, it's not me in some cases, even though those elements of life and the ego kind of taking over because of its habitual way of recognizing problems and thus leading with fear and separation has allowed us to really essentially look at everything that's going on around and matching your frequency with that frequency. In other words, when you meet somebody, right, and their vibration is not one of a high frequency, right? In other words, they have an attitude, they have some kind of issues that they are projecting out towards you, and you're receiving that. And it could be very obvious, right? When you go to the store, you're dealing with a cashier, you're even engaging when you're driving down the street, right? And, any kinds of interactions that happen, you may interact with somebody who is obviously aggressive towards you, projecting attitude, projecting negativity towards your way. And what we tend to do, is we tend to match that energy. So we tend to allow them essentially to dictate the vibration and the energy that we desire for ourselves, right? So we tend to follow their lead thinking that that's the most empowering way to be. And it is, in fact, the opposite. You want to be in a state where you are being mindful about the way of being that you wish to have, right? That you desire for yourself. So if you wish to feel good and be on a high frequency, then you must manage that and be responsible for that. You cannot let the outside world, right, dictate what your vibrational frequency is going to be. That's the trap a lot of us live by, is thinking that whatever's going on in the world, I need to match that energy and I need to be more right? I need to be not only match it, but I need to be on a more intense level of that same energy in order to quote unquote win. That is the epitome of losing. What that means is you are living a reality where whatever is going on around you dictates what goes on within you. The opposite is supposed to be the case, okay? You are the creator of this reality. You are the creator of your world, your universe, your perspective. And so your perspective dictates what actually happens out into the world. It should not be the other way around. So if somebody is coming to you with negativity and an attitude, yes, be mindful about safety, your security, but also recognize that, hey, there are various elements of things that's going on, various nuances that are going on at that moment. This person is going through a lot, possibly, right? Obviously, they're going through something. That doesn't mean you take that on as your problem, but you recognize that you see yourself in them. Just like when you're having a bad day, you wish people would be more compassionate and empathetic to you. So therefore, one way to look at it is to be more empathetic to them. What I like to do when people give me an attitude or they're just not being present to the exchange, I go above and beyond to just bring it to their awareness in the way that's positive, maybe even funny. You know, I may say, hey, how you doing? Are you having a good day? Which is usually what people ask. But most people don't really get into it. You know, most people will just respond and say, hey, yeah, I'm fine. Then I seriously say, no, really, how are you really doing? Just even in that follow-up, people tend to acknowledge that, wait a minute, this person actually really does care about how I feel. You can also twist it in a very positive, humorous way. Like, hey, you look like you're having a bad day. You need a hug? You know what I mean? It may be some sarcasm in there, but ultimately, if they say yes, be willing to give them a hug, right? Extend that energy out there. You may not be able to hug them physically, but you can send out love toward their way, you see? But the most important thing is to recognize that you are not to be influenced by the outside world, because the outside world is full of people who are going through their thing. And many people are not evolved enough yet to recognize what they're feeling, recognize that, okay, they're not having a good moment, that they're not having a good day, they're going through something, and they're not able to recognize that they can switch that they can transform whatever they're going through, their challenges, their struggles, into opportunities, right? They're not able to identify that they get to choose. They get to decide how and what they're going to do in that moment, how they're going to live their day, who they're going to be at the moment. Okay? So you may be at a different place. So you are in a more of a stronger position. And the strength is represented by positivity, not matching somebody with negativity. When you match somebody with negativity because they gave you negativity, that demonstrates you're not at a very spiritually mature place. Now, I don't want you to fake it, but what I want you to do is acknowledge, okay, this person is influencing me. How does it feel that they are influencing me with their negativity? I'm a firm believer in just simply being able to acknowledge things that are going on within you gives you the power and the insight, the wisdom to actually begin transformation. A lot of times people think, oh, how do I do it? What is the technique? Techniques are important, but they are not required. All you have to do is simply observe and be mindful about the situation, be mindful about yourself, practice self-awareness, practice mindfulness, right? Practice meditation. That will eventually continue to lead you through to evolving into your true self, into your spiritual self. Thus recognizing that you're in charge of all of this. So no matter what or how somebody comes at you, when you are completely secure in your own well-being, your own spirituality, and your own wellness, then nothing can affect you, right? In fact, the opposite happens, where you begin to influence the world, where you begin to impact and influence people. There's been plenty of times where my vibration is on such a space, a higher level of frequency, that when I walk into a room, instantly I can bring a vibration of love and happiness to the space. And I can recognize when people are not having a good day and their frequency is low, right? And so then I can actively engage with them with the intention of lifting up their vibration. That's what we should all be doing in this world for each other, is helping each other to support a positive, high frequency vibration of love, kindness, happiness, right? Caring, compassion, empathy. But because we've been taught this mentality of an eye for an eye, or, I'm going to match your energy. If you give me an attitude, I'm going to give you an attitude. Or this mindset of, if you want my respect, you have to earn my respect. That basically just says you are giving control over to the other person. You don't want to do that. You are in control. You are the creator of this reality. You cannot give that to somebody else. It's impossible to do that. And every time we try to do that, whether we are aware of it or not, it leads to our own suffering. So be mindful that you are responsible for your energy, for your vibration, for your reality. So do not allow other people to dictate what happens in your reality, what you feel, what you think. You make sure that you dictate that and you project that out, right? Make sure you project that out in a positive and loving way. And so that's what I want to leave you with today. I just want you to be mindful about your interactions today. Be mindful about how people project their life, their situation out to you, okay? And how you receive it. Do you take it personal? Do you take offense to it? Okay, because what that means is that is an habitual state of taking on people's energy, accepting it as your own. Just be mindful about that. And in that way you can begin correcting it. Because as soon as you acknowledge, wait a minute, that's right. I am allowing somebody to influence me when I should be influencing them from a place of positivity. Now, if somebody is influencing you from a positive place, accept it, receive it, especially if you're not personally at a positive space. But ultimately, this whole thing should be led by positivity, and you're the one here. So what I'm giving you is the support to recognize that you're likely more on a higher frequency than other people. And so with that comes responsibility, right? The responsibility to spread that frequency out into the rest of the world. That's what we're up to. We're taking not only ourselves to a higher frequency vibration, to a higher plane, but we're bringing the entire universe with us. All right. So that's what I want to leave you with. Thank you so much. Listen, if you downloaded this book, okay, which was available for free on Kindle this past week, I appreciate you so much. Make sure you leave a review. There are going to be plenty more books that I'm going to be publishing on Kindle, on Amazon, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I got a whole big plan for the whole entire year. I think immersion is very important. So though I talk about it in video, you can listen to it in audio. It's very important also to incorporate reading it, okay? Because that is when it starts to get through all the different senses of who you are, and you start to absorb and receive the information better. So this is why I kind of set up everything where all of my content is in different formats. So I'm actually going to be working on a few books that are going to be in audiobook format as well, but that's coming along in the next couple of months. All right. So anyway, thank you so much for checking me out. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my newsletter, where you will get constant updates on the same kind of content, new books, courses, things of that nature, things to support you, to help you to recognize that you are the creator of your reality. So create the reality, the universe that you desire. Peace and abundance always.